Title community frontliners, our teachers, our healthcare workers.
I was down to like my last dollar. I remember I was saying, man, what I'm gonna do? Like, I'm hungry, but I want to just like paint because I'm kind of stressed out with what's going on. When I got that email and it said you've been approved for the gift card or the Visa card, I was like, oh, I got $200. I remember getting some food from HEB. I walked across the street, got some food from HEB, and then I immediately went to Hobby Lobby because they had a sale. And from there is when I created my first painting. It's best to be served by people who look just like you. You know, that really, it makes everything more abrasive. It makes everything more feel like home.
For me, I feel like DAWA is me. You know, I'm a giver. I love to give back to my community. I love to do for those who are struggling and doing for themselves. And that's exactly what DAWA is and what DAWA does. And I'm happy to receive, but I'm also happy to be a part of it.
Vision 8291 is something that we started in partnership with South by Southwest. And the first year that we started, it was just one concert. We did it at Stubbs, nearly sold the whole place out. This second year, which is 2023, we raised $20,000 for 6 BIPOC-led grassroots organizations. Those are people that are dealing with the unhoused community. Those are people that are getting in the middle so that we can keep our young people out of the court systems and out of the prison systems. These are folks that are thinking about this every day and not just thinking about it, but they're going out there. And so we believe that those organizations need to be able to thrive in Austin, and we want to use South by Southwest as a platform to elevate that work. And so when you come in from Madrid, or you come in from Canada, or you come in from everywhere, you're going to learn about these great organizations and the work that's being done, and you're going to invest in that through Vision 8291.
DAWA Studios is a free studio space for the BIPOC community here in Austin. We have cameras, lights, microphones, anything you would need for a video or audio production. We've had podcasters start out in their bedrooms, some started in their apartments, some started in small rooms and libraries recording on their laptops, cell phones.
It took me out of my bedroom and into a more professional setting with a high quality studio that I'm not gonna get as a mom in her mid-20s. The financial struggle that we're seeing nowadays we're in the silent depression. It is very difficult to be able to afford the equipment, the software, and everything else that comes with the nitty-gritty and part of the tech. So DAWA helped me directly with not making me burn out so quick by giving me the opportunity to stay consistent with my content creation and podcasting.
The Black Lives Music Fund is simply about black music. Austin is known as a rock and roll city, as a blues city. Willie Nelson, Stevie Ray Vaughan, these folks, that music comes from black people, all of it. Why is it that so many of the talented black musicians end up having to leave this city? These are questions that we're asking. And when we ask these questions, what it leads to is that we need a fund that is directly giving to black musicians. Not just black musicians, but people that are creating space for black music to thrive in the city.
I've seen what we've done transform people's lives in real time. Breathe, we got you. Breathe, we're pouring into you like you pour into our Austin community. It just gives me so much joy and life and laughter and just wholeness that we are, giving to the givers. You just don't even understand how that multiplies into just a beautiful space that I know Austin has been for me and can be again if we continue to pour into ourselves.
Interview live. How you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm
You
happy to be
excited?
here.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Austin.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
sure you've
you.
been here before, but
Yeah, quite a few
yeah.
times. But the first time I'm here in DAWA HQ.
yeah, facts.
So
Make some noise, y'all.
definitely
Come on.
cause for celebration, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Traveling all that distance. Let's just get into it and talk about how did you end up here? You're a head of diversity at Favor. Like, how did you get there? What is your path like? Your journey?
Yeah, it's a non-traditional path, I'd say. But I think it's interesting. It's one of those things that really goes back to, I think, why I personally connect with DAWA so much. It's being driven by purpose, right? And I think, you know, in my journey, when I think to growing up in my household, my family, you know, I just heard someone talk today about how they're inspired by the journey of their grandparents, right? And I think about my great-grandfather, who I had the pleasure of knowing and having a relationship with, who grew up as a sharecropper in Kemper County, Mississippi, managed his way to New York, where I was born and raised. And, you know, that's what drove me really into my journey of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, is really thinking through what my purpose is, the generations that came before me, and wanting to just connect people to their purpose, to their passion, to bring generational wealth to grow the community, right? And so, you know, I got my start out of Howard University. I don't know if anyone's, you know, the real HU, right? And you know, got into HR, wanted to grow in that space, wanted to make an impact, and you know, started in financial services, doing some DEI work, and came over to tech. Took some time off. I'm a person with a disability, super proud to be disabled, and you know, had my time to really focus on that, to grow my family. I have a beautiful 3-year-old toddler, with my partner, my husband. And so, you know, coming to Favor really was a fantastic opportunity to be able to grow this space and to build it out in an area, you know, like Austin, where you know, it's super needed, super important. And so excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like the word diversity and equity has just become kind of a little bit cliche, a little bit of like, you know, a catchphrase everyone's using now.
We're going to make it cool again.
Yeah. So can you just give us, like, what does that mean to you? Like, what is diversity specifically and equity? Like,
yeah. I mean, I'll share a little bit. So you know, my title is head of DEIB. So my husband jokes that we keep adding letters to it, but diversity is who's in the room, right? So I like to think of it in terms of if we have this event, for example, we think about an audience. It's the diversity is who's having this conversation, it's who's listening to the conversation, who benefits from the conversation, who could be harmed from the conversation. That's what diversity is. Inclusion is giving people the opportunity to speak, right? And so we could be in the room together, but if we don't have, you know, the access, or if we're not enabled or empowered to have that conversation, then, you know, the value of who's here really is non-existent. And then you have equity. So equity is really being able to create a space and an environment that enables people to participate. So not only are we saying, we want you here, we want you to speak, but we're gonna make this mic adjustable because we're 2 different heights. I'm vertically challenged. So if I get into a space and the mic is super high up, I'm not gonna be able to have my voice be amplified in the first place. And so we wanna make sure that spaces are accessible. We wanna be concerned with wheelchair accessibility, with, you know, utilizing devices that enable everyone to really fully participate, right? And then we think about belonging. So belonging is that intangible essence of a space that makes you feel that whatever you say, now that we've given you the tools, we've given you the resources, we've invited you in the room, we've given you your chance to speak, we are now assuring you that what you say is of value. We care. Like, we value that. It's not just gonna fall on deaf ears. We're going to listen to that, and we're gonna bring that into some true action. And so, you know, that's incredibly important, and I think it takes all of that to make a difference and to really move the needle.
And like, I gotta say, y'all, like, you know, being, I don't call myself an executive director. Being the founder and kind of director of DAWA, we have to obviously raise money. We have to actually obviously have a lot of conversations with corporations. And I gotta say, like, the conversation that we had was actually a conversation.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
it was kind of like, it kind of took me back because a lot of times, it's kind of like you feel like you're performing, or you have to you only have so much time. And I think that first, time that we met, we spoke for, almost an hour.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I really feel like that you were like living exactly, the things that you're talking about. And I want to give you props for that. I want to give you a little bit of.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Because, it's hard. It's hard raising money. It's hard to be authentic. The things that I was talking about with the displacement, like Austin is really in a crisis right now.
Right.
I've seen so much, quote unquote, in the name of development. It's really violent.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of recognition of that.
Absolutely.
And so, I just want to, just again publicly thank you for that first conversation, but then also just following up, because what y'all need to understand is that, literally, we talked, and within a few weeks, they were cutting a check, which is unheard of. Right? Any of y'all try to raise money for it? It's unheard of. But the things that you were talking about, you're living those things.
I appreciate that.
Have you always been like that? Has it always been something that kind of, ran through your blood in a sense, or did you learn that, or?
So I mean, nature versus nurture conversation, but I'd say yes. I pretty much have. I've always been, I was the kid putting her nose into things and trying to break up the arguments, or trying to make everyone feel included, or whoever didn't have friends, I was their best friend.
Right.
So, it's a little bit of that, but it's also being raised that way. I think, I come from a service family. That's what we do. That's what we pride ourselves on. And I come from a culture. My dad. I think about my dad, and he's in diversity and inclusion as well. We have this running joke, though, that I did it first. When I was in elementary school, I started student government. I went to a very small school. And I started student government, and my first big thing was a culture fair, where, it was a majority black school, but we all had different heritage, different, ethnic backgrounds, and there was so much diversity and so much joy, and seeing people talk about where they came from and their parents and food, and just, and my first big thing was giving everyone a platform to celebrate that and to talk about our food and to dance and to have our music and showcase it. And I was in 4th grade.
Yeah.
So, it's a running joke in my household that I'm the first one in the family to do the DEI stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously it's bigger than that. But I think it's one of those things where it's super critical, it's super important, and in regards to our conversations that we've been having, I think what makes the synergy is just I see you, right? And that's what all of this is about. It's about seeing each other clearly and being able to support each other as we see each other. And I don't own that.
Right.
Sawabona, right? The African principle of saying I see you, right?
Yeah.
So that's meaningful to me, and I try to live my life that way.
Yeah, I mean, it comes through. It comes through. I think that's the most important part of community.
Absolutely.
It's just witnessing people, and when you actually care about someone, then you see their whole trajectory. 100%. I think a lot of times we tend to see the worst in people, or that they're only as good as the last thing that they did. But it's hard for us to keep in mind the growth, and the challenges that growth involves.
100%. Yeah.
Can you maybe talk about some of the challenges of being in that space, or any of the in the corporate space and trying to push for some of this authenticity, some of this, real inclusion? What are some of the challenges you face?
So I've been really fortunate. At Favor, we have a wonderful executive team who's really committed to this work, and we got connected to DAWA because of our CEO, right? And so it's really exciting to be able to have such fantastic support. And so, I absolutely love that, and I appreciate that. That's not always the case. It's it's one of those things where I'd never take for granted that, I go into the room and the question is, how does this align to our values, and can we really be of resource here in this space, as opposed to spaces I've been in the past where it's what's the business case, what's the ROI, and that's a whole different conversation when, you're being brought in and trying to prove the value of you.
Right.
It doesn't feel good, right? And so I think I think it comes down to, when you think about the challenges, it comes down to needing to grapple with your identity and what you believe your value and worth is, and then entering a space that may or may not believe that and buy into that, and then needing to prove that to somebody, and it's your job. That's really layered. And so a lot of it is just being authentic anyway. It's showing up anyway. It's when I worked in financial services, I still wrapped my hair because it was pretty and I liked it, and it was a part of my identity, and it didn't matter to me if someone felt uncomfortable, because if you're gonna feel uncomfortable because I'm being myself, then maybe you just haven't seen enough of me.
Right. Snap. That's why we have y'all. We want to hear from y'all. Y'all feeling that? Yeah. Right on. Like, where do you see Favor going as a company?
Yeah.
Not just like, obviously it's a company, so its goal is profit.
Yeah.
But what are your kind of highest expectations or thoughts for where Favor can go in the future?
Yeah, I think there's so much that we can do, and I'm really looking forward to our continued growth. I think it's what I love, and what I can speak to from the DEIB standpoint is we've had a lot of focus on just building to a place that goes beyond the status quo, that goes beyond, what's industry standard. And I think that's where a lot of companies get kind of caught up. They're like, oh, well, how are we matching the industry? And, I think anytime that you try to match a system that's not designed for everyone, you're inevitably gonna fail. And so instead of doing that, we're thinking in terms of what's possible. And so we're looking at how do we enhance accessibility. That's a huge thing for us right now in our technology and in with our team members and how they show up to work every day. How do we make the experience as inclusive and as equitable for them as possible? How do we support our runners? We've had some conversations about that as well. And, I was just speaking to another gigger from another company, and they were talking about some traumatic experiences that they were, their, fellow colleagues have been having, and, how the company doesn't really support them. And there's really no support there. And, these are, just in the nature of why we're here, right? Frontline people who are living every day trying to, just get the most out of life. And, I think there's so much that we can do on all fronts to just really amplify our impact. And so I think in terms of growth, my big thing is the more that we grow, the more our impact should grow, and the more we can, do more of this, right? And so that's my hope for us. That's our aspiration for us, that we create the best possible place to work, and that we create an even better place to live because we're here.
I know. Yeah. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Yeah. So someone out there watching this, like a young Aaliyah out there, like and you have any advice for someone that's possibly thinking about going into this space, thinking about diversity, inclusion, or these type of things? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the advice is tell yourself who you are. Don't let anyone else do that for you. It's one of those things where, you know, we talk a lot about imposter syndrome, and I think for sure it's something that to a certain extent I've struggled with, but
How so? Can you expand on it?
yeah, I think it's you know, you constantly question, you know, is this really me? You want to talk to me and interview me for a podcast? You sure? But I think the reality of it is it's not so much, in my case, I'll speak for me, it's not so much of the imposter syndrome, it's the fear of embracing your purpose. It's the magnitude of that, of walking into your birthright. That is overwhelming. And so I think in pursuing any profession, any career, I think tying that back to your purpose is absolutely huge. In pursuing a career or profession that challenges everything about you because you are challenging a system, you have to own that. Like, if you don't own that, it will shake you. And we see such high turnover of DEI professionals because it's a tough job, you know? And I think if I didn't have the grounding, if I didn't think back to my great-grandfather, right? I don't know how long I would have, you know, I don't know if I would have made it this far. But I've been fortunate to have that grounding. I've been fortunate to build a strong support system. So that's my other advice. Build your support system. Therapy. Love therapy.
Hey.
Listen. So, you know, it's just caring for you, right, through it, and understanding that anytime that you enter any sort of a career or any sort of a job that requires you to put people first and to really care and love people, you know, that sometimes comes with pain. And it doesn't feel great, but it's, you know, at the end of the day, the things that you'll remember about your life aren't going to be that one time that someone said this and it was really difficult and it was tough and you had to push through it. It's going to be all the people that you helped and the outcomes. And so, you know, I kind of just let that drive me. And, you know, my hope would be for anyone else who's interested in pursuing a career like this to have the understanding that it's not going to be easy every day, but it absolutely will be worth it. And if you don't see the outcomes today, someone else will generations from now. And so to just really trust and believe in that.
Right on. Yeah. Are there any specific things that you do? Like you talked about grounding. Any specific things you do? Do you walk by some water? Do you know, any specific practices you have to keep you grounded, to keep you focused and in your purpose?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with my grandmother. That is, I am my great aunt who was in the Air Force, and I listen to stories. Like, I eat food.
Hey.
Like, the healing nature of some good collard greens. Listen.
Come on now. Wait, what do you put? Are you turkey? Are you ham
You
hock?
gotta do the turkey.
Turkey?
You gotta
Okay,
do
turkey.
turkey.
Okay, bet.
Smoked turkey neck.
Okay, all right.
But when you know, it's just the communion. It's the warmth of home. It's really embracing that and leaning into it. And I think, you know, it's one of those things where whatever your community is, whatever your home is, whatever your family is, whether that's what you were born into or what you created, right? It's never taking that for granted. It's leaning into it and really being present. And so I try in terms of, you know, what I do for grounding, and I'd even say meditation is when I'm in those spaces, like I'm going to be soon around the holidays, I sit and I take it in. Like, I sit for a second, I just breathe. the same air as my grandmother, because I can't forever, you know? And it's, yeah.
Felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it reminds me that today I'm fighting a battle for the voice of myself and others who relate to me. But my grandmother just couldn't walk across the campus of USC without getting things thrown at her. Or she couldn't sit on the bus. Forget the back of the bus. She couldn't sit on the bus because the bus was full. You can't sit on it. And so it puts things into perspective. You know what I mean? And to be so close to it, and to have had a relationship with my great-grandfather, and to see firsthand their journey, it reminds me how important mine is. And so, you know, I think there's so many things you can do to decompress, and whatever works for you works for you. For me, it's those quiet moments, it's those quality time moments that really bring me peace, and I cling to that when I get into my difficult times.
Well, we thank you for spending this quality time with us.
Absolutely.
We thank you
Thanks
for
for
pouring
having me.
into DAWA. We thank you for traveling all the way from Charlotte to share these diamonds of wisdom that you have shared, and we hope this isn't the last time you come back. Each time you come back, we hope that DAWA has grown even more.
Absolutely.
And that you're a part of that through favor. And it's just been an absolute pleasure having you. So thank you so much. Make some noise for Aaliyah, y'all.
Thank you for having me.
That's all the time we have for tonight, but this is just the beginning. So
thank you.
All right. Make some noise for DJ Zetrock. We'll be back.
That's on period. One more round of applause for Shaka. I love Shaka so much. And DAWA. I was like, what am I gonna sing? And I just wanted to do folky stuff, and so it's gonna be a different vibe, but I hope you guys enjoy it. This first song is a cover by Phoebe Bridgers, and who I love very much, and it's called Garden Song. And so yeah, I'm just in my feels, and so sadly you're gonna have to be in your feels too. Someday I'm gonna live in your house up on a hill, and when your skinhead neighbor goes missing, I'll plant a garden in the yard, then the growing roses on a flatbed. You should see it, I mean thousands. I grew up here till it all went up in flames, except the notches on the door frame. I don't know when you got taller. It must be something in the water. Off a bridge off of Huntington, I hopped a fence when I was 17, and then I knew what I wanted. And when I grow up, I'm gonna look up from my phone and see my life, and it's gonna be just like my recurring dream. I'm at the movies, I don't remember what I'm seeing, then the screen turns into a tidal wave. Don't know when, but I'm taller. It must be something in the water. No, I'm not afraid of hard work. I get everything I want. I have everything I wanted. I have everything I wanted. I wanted. Thank you. Why a Phoebe Bridgers song? I don't know. But that's just what I wanted to sing. So, haha. This next song I wrote a super long time ago, and it's called In Between. I was on shrooms, and I don't even think you know this, but I was on shrooms, and I lived on West Campus, and this was like the first time I really, really did shrooms. And it was like, there was an amount of time where it felt like I was just alone. Like, it was weird. Like, I was just walking West Campus, and there was a lot of fucking people in West Campus, but I didn't see one car. It was like after a while, for like hours, it was like I didn't see one car. It just felt like the simulation stopped, and it was just me. And it was kind of scary. And like, I was like, got to the point where I was kind of like at the peak where I was kind of like trying to seek a car, like trying to find people. Like, there was no lights on in buildings. It was weird. Like, and I felt this like energy that was coming out of my hands. Like, it was like hot. And like, if I did this, I could feel it. And I was like, am I a witch? And I was like, wait, like, is this my origin story? And, but it hasn't happened since. But I remember my head was down, and then finally, this car came, and they screamed at me at the top of their lungs. They were like, put your head up. And I went, and like, still to this day, that stuck with me. And so I wrote this song about that experience, because it was weird, and I felt uncomfortable. But it was like a part of that prophecy that I feel like all of us artists have, where it's like, we're destined for something. There's an energy somewhere, and you just have to figure out how to maintain it. And that's what's hard, is like continuing that feeling. Because when the shrooms go away, sometimes we go away. Or when the feeling goes away, we go away, because then we doubt ourselves. But maintaining that feeling, I think that's what songs are for. It's maintaining that feeling, so that we can just tap back in to whatever that is that we're connected to. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Anyway, by Leo Rising. Anywho, I was like, I kind of ate that. But anyway, this is called In Between. Kind of ate that a little bit. I'm coming with you this time. I'm coming with you this time. You can't just leave me behind. I'm coming with you this time. Energy coming out of my hands, somewhere to go. Cover me with both of your hands, and don't let me go. I made a promise to you, must follow through this time. And you made a promise to me, so I can't just leave you behind. Oh, energy is coming out of my hands with somewhere to go. Cover me with both of your hands. I don't wanna go 'cause I'm slipping into the in-between. Slipping into the in-between. And maybe one day you'll understand. 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 Slipping into the in-between. I'm slipping into the in-between. And maybe one day you'll understand. Oh, and maybe one day you'll understand. All right. This next song is called Everything. And I just wrote it. So we went from me 19 years old to me now, whatever age you want me to be. And I wrote this song because I was very angry. And it was just like, okay, if you're not going to change, then I guess I'll change again. And that was hard. That didn't feel very comfortable. I'm tired of changing for people that don't change for you, or don't make any compromises, or don't make sacrifices for you. It's just disrespectful. And so it's just like, well, if you're not gonna evolve, that's cool. But like, I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna evolve. And that's just on period. And so I just wanted to make this song as a parting gift to that person, of just being like, good luck on that journey. But that's your journey. That's not mine. And I'm disconnecting myself from that. Moira, take it away. I'll start over again. I'll do my best. I'll bend and float with the wind. I'll be your everything. I'll be your everything. Yes, I will. I'll be your everything. Yes, I will. Yes, I. Yeah. Oh, I'll start over again. I'll do my best. I'll bend and float with the wind. I'll be your everything. I'll be your everything. everything. Yes, I will. I'll be your everything. Yes, I will. 'Cause I can't let this go again. No, not today. I need it more than you can imagine. I can't let this go again. No, not today. I need it more than you can imagine. I'll start over again. I'll do my best. I'll bend and flow with the wind. I'll be your everything, or I'll be my everything. Just my everything. Hey, hey, you're everything. Thank you. Okay. This song is a cover, and it's just like my favorite cover. I don't have any deep meaning behind it, besides the fact that I love Stevie Nicks, and I think every person should just sing this song whenever they have the opportunity to. Do you know it? No, it's okay. I called you yesterday. Let's do this. Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Well, listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining, and players only love you when they're playing. She said that. Say women, they will come and they will go, but when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. Now here you go again. I see your crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you like to sell? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had, ooh, and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining, and players only love you when they're playing. And say when they will come and they will go, but when the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. That's my version of Dreams by Stevie Nicks. And players only love you when they're playing. She said that. That was like the 70s. Dudes were still tripping like that in the 70s. Damn, you guys have. If there's anything you guys have, it's longevity. It's a record. Consistency. There it is. If there's anything you are, it's consistent. But yeah, no. I love everyone. Anyway, I love everybody. This next song, actually, me and Moira made together. And a really good friend of mine, Daniel Sahad, passed away from Nane, and he was like my best friend and like my brother and like everything to me, my Aries king. And they're such a mess, but I love them so much. And so when he passed, I was very distraught, and I found out very randomly. I was like at the studio, and they had already thought I knew. I did not know. And so it was really rough, and I hadn't lost someone like that, that I was that close to, like my same age, like in my age area. It was weird. And now it's happened again since then. And so it's weird. It's like, as you get older, you lose people, not it's different when you lose people when you're younger. It's weird, because we just know more and we're more stressed. And, life can't stop. And that's, the weird thing is that, when I was a kid, someone passed away, life stops. At least for me, and I could, gather myself. But I had a show. I had ACL. And they also called me and said, we're going to do the final performance with the band, and you're going to sing. And you're going to sing for us, and and then we're never going to perform again. And so it was just way too much. And so I just sat in School of Rock with Moira, I think the day after, something like that. And I think we wrote this song. And it's just my love letter to him. And I love him. And yeah, that's what this song is. Yep. He right? No, it's okay. There may be mountains between us now, too many clouds to count now. So I'll count the distance between us now till I figure it out somehow. 'Cause I know that heaven now is where you go. If it's where you are, then it must be so. 'Cause I'm just a kid in the lost and found, without you here to hold. Yeah, it's so I'll shoot a rocket straight out of my pocket if it means it carries us both back home. 'Cause I know that heaven now is where you go. If it's where you are, then it must be so. it's where you are, if it's where you are, then it must be so. Thank you. No happy songs. No hip, no hop. And I do it. I hip and I hop. I can do a flow. Don't try me. She can, you know. I'm so tired. Where am I? I don't know. Oh, this next? Are you making that decision? Okay. Well, let's do that one. You're already here. This is a cover by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, who I love. It's called Maps. It's my favorite song, and I feel like it's followed me like my whole life. And every year I get older, it's like I understand it more. It's one of those. Yeah. Pack up, don't stray. My kind's your kind, I'll stay the same. Pack up, don't stray. I'm the same, I'm the same. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Maps, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Don't stray, my kind's your kind, I'll stay the same. Pack up, don't stray. I'm the same, I'm the same. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Maps, maps, maps. Oh, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Maps, wait, they don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. Maps, wait, they don't love you like I love you. They don't love you like I love you. They'll never love you like I love you. They can't love you like I love you. It's not how the original song sounds. That's how our version sounds. And it's an acoustic version of the song, a reimagining. This last song is a song that I wrote when I was doing shrooms and walking around with nobody and the lights not on. I got on Bumble and met up with this guy, and he seemed really sweet on Bumble. And he was very sweet. But when he came to my house, he was drunk. Like drunk. I've never experienced that before. I was like, hello? I was like, you're so drunk. And I was like, what do I do with this? Like, trying to get my coochie score up. But I can't do that of good faith with this person. They are inebriated. So I was like, you know what? We're going to pivot. And I felt bad because he was so sweet and he was so cute. And I was like, you know what? Let's still go hang out. And so we did, and we went on this swing that was next to my house. And I just, and we had a good night. And he got sober, and we got slushies. And we kissed, but we didn't do nothing because I still felt weird about doing something because I was like, that's not okay. This person's not even fully there. even towards the end, like even when he was like completely sober, we were together for like hours. But I felt like, I was like, I had this feeling, and I've had this feeling so many times now, where it's like, maybe not this lifetime we can be together, but maybe in another lifetime we can be together. And like, I feel like life sometimes is like you're keeping tabs on people. Like you make this energetic connection with somebody, and you're just like, there's something you see in them where you're like, shit, I gotta go this way. But you, like, man, like, just bookmark me. And like, yeah, you know, like in another life, maybe we can like figure this out. Like, you know, I'm a dog, you're a bird, you know, or like I'm a tree, you're an apple, you know, or like, or, you know, I'm a woman in the Renaissance and you're a knight, you know, like, I don't know what the next life's gonna be, but like, you know, cause time's not linear. And so, but it's like, but you know, like, hit me up. You know what I mean? Like it's like spiritual hit me up. Like, call me. Like, next time. You know what I mean? Like, when we see each other again, if we see each other again, you know, like, it's like if someone at a coffee shop, you know, and then like 3 years later you see them again. And it's like, maybe now there's a better opportunity for us. But maybe not. It's like, I see it like that also with lifetimes. Like being queer, being androgynous, there's some cis men or men that I meet in my life that's like, I'm not here to dismantle all of your shit in order for us to be together, but I know you fuck with me. So maybe we can wait a couple of lifetimes for you to figure that out. So yeah, I wrote this song. That's what it's about. It's our last song, thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Why don't you come over? I got something for you. I don't think you're special. Oh yes I do. Time for a decision. What else can I do? I know that I'm not the one for you. And maybe not this time, but maybe the next life I'll get to be with you. And maybe not this time, but maybe the next life I'll get to be with you, with you, with you. And why don't you just kiss me? What else can I do? Remember when you loved me, 1982. Something to believe in. Do you believe it too? Every life I lived has brought me back to you. And maybe not this time, but maybe the next life I'll get to be with you. Oh, maybe not this time, but maybe the next life I'll get to be with you, with you.